Is the FCJ Refugee Center. My name is Francisco Rico Martinez. And as I said to you, I explained the programs and you can see it there. And then you can see the description of each program very briefly. And this presentation will be put it in the website after I finish. And we were talking about the resources and documents available online. You can use it, you can check it. We have a claim refugee protection from inside Canada. How to apply, you can use it. There is way more information than the one that we produce or we provide orally. How to apply for legal aid as well, and the humanitarian application. After the presentation, you can click and use it. Just go to our website. So the first one is claiming refugee protection inside Canada, no? So we have a source, that is the basic of claim form, for instance, that is translated in that languages that you can use. This is a resource. It's not the form. It's also translated the form, but this is how you can fill up the form in case that you don't have legal representation. The inland procedure is very simple right now because there is not a physical meeting. There is not a in-person meeting. So the situation is the person that want to make a claim, they have to send an email to this, to the email that we are putting there. And they have to, at the back, they are going to receive an acknowledgement of the claim letter, that will be sent by email in the return. Of course, what is going to happen is that you will be asked in the IRCC website, after you send the email, you will be asked to fill up forms, no? So, and the most important form is the basic of claim. So when you send the email to the IRCC, refugee claimant, you see it there. You will receive an email confirming that you have made that claim, and they will also tell you how to open a e-post and how to receive more forms through the e-post that you will have to fill it up. So that's why the information that we put here is about the basic of claim form. That is the most important form that you will have to fill it up. All these forms are at the website of the immigration, the IRCC website, and you can see it. You just have to say how to make a refugee claim, and this is the information that appears. The preparing for the testimony is very important, no, for you, because the preparation of the testimony is when you are going to go to the refugee hearing and you are going to go before to the lawyer, and the lawyer has to be there in order than you need to have all these elements, when you go to the lawyer, to prepare your case. You won't go, you won't go, you will make a phone call or whatever. So, but take in mind everything that we have here. So when we are giving you all of this information, in order that when you start your process, you know what you are going to face, okay? So this is the questions. Will be a good idea that you see the basic of claim form, that you see what it is, that you see the questions that you have, the question related to your story, Then, and then you also prepare, your story, you prepare things, and then you make a phone call to legal aid. Why? Because legal aid is going to ask you questions um, to exactly your case. In order, legal aid is the institution that approve the uh, the legal aid cover the cost of a lawyer. And that's why we are putting you two phone numbers there that are the ones that you have to use. One is if you are outside Toronto, and the other one is if you are here in Toronto, and you have to make a phone call and to start the process. What we suggest is when you phone legal aid, you will receive you will hear a message in English. Press 1. When that is going to pass you to another message in English, press 1 again, and that is going to send you to another message in English, press 1 again. So after you press 1 3 times, you have to, you will, the machine is going to tell you to wait online for, the agent that is going to talk to you. So, and then the interview is going to start. So you will see that you will have questions. The first one will be to open up an account. Please write down your client ID. The account is going to be ask you questions about who you are, where do you live, if you have financial to pay the lawyer or no, if you're working, these type of things. And then the second person that is going to talk to you on legal aid is going to do an assessment related to your claim and also to your finances. No? And in the refugee application, they will ask you, as you can see, um, these type of questions, to prove that you have a case, because you are not possible to say I'm here because I like the weather, and you have to be at risk back home. So the questions are going to be how you who wants to hurt you, who wants to kill you, how do you know that is this group or this person, why they want to hurt you, why they want to kill you, and the main incidents or situation that happen to that make you leave the country. Okay, you can do it in a point form using our 4 questions to be ready when they ask you a question about why you leave your country. Well, you start saying, I was so and so wants to kill me. I know that it's these people for this and this and this. And why? Because, and you explain, and remember that the why is one of the most important things, because it has to be personal related, has to be individual related. It's not possible just to say, well, the situation back home is terrible. And then they will ask you a financial assessment, no? How much money do you have when you enter Canada? What are you doing now? How long you have been here? Do you have money to pay the lawyer? And you basically present a situation where you are in destitute, or you are not having money to pay the lawyer, they will approve a legal aid certificate. Remember that we said that you have to write down the legal aid certificate, and they are called a CE number, no? And you will apply for that one, and you will get it. And if you got it, so you can do 2 things. One is you can, if you know a lawyer, you can call the lawyer and say, hey, I have a legal aid certificate, I am making a refugee application, so could you help me? And if the lawyer say yes, the lawyer is going to do all is going to contact It's going to use the email to send the information, and it's going to help you to fill the forms and to translate your story if you have to, this type of thing. So that's why we believe that before you reach anything of these emails to make a claim, you do a phone call to legal aid first. And here are, some guidelines that we have for the humanitarian application. So with this one, I am finishing the presentation with the refugee claimant, but now, if you see, now we are going to pass to humanitarian application. When do you make an application for humanitarian reason? Or before, we're going to explain what is the humanitarian application. First of all, if you are going to make a refugee claimant application, you don't do a humanitarian application. The law said that you have to choose for one. So doesn't matter how long you have been in Canada, if you have a case where your life is at risk back home, we recommend that you make a refugee application. But sometimes people said, no, I don't have a case. I don't have a way to prove anything. So I am here working because in my country is not a way that I'm going to survive. I don't have a good income, all of this stuff. So if that happens, so you have to basically try to look in the humanitarian application. So that's why if you normally you are not eligible to become a permanent resident for any other application, refugee or whatever, you try this. And in the humanitarian application, the considerations are to accept people that are in a precarious situations here in Canada, that they don't have any other application available for them, but they are here and they are working even without work permit, but they are trying to establish themselves here. What you need to know is that the agency doesn't stop removal procedures and doesn't give you a work permit when you submit the application. So you continue having the same lack of status than you have right now. These agencies also can be submitted at the end of the refugee process. We will explain that one to you. So who can apply for a humanitarian application? Who cannot apply, sorry, is a refugee claimant that is pending before the RPD. So you have, as I said, you make a claim, it's not possible to do it. So you have to wait for a negative decision at the refugee hearing, and then there is a 12-month bar. So if you receive a negative decision, in theory, you have to wait for 12 months to submit a humanitarian application. But if you have children or you have a medical condition that is going to be affected by these by the removal procedures, you can basically apply during the 12 months. You don't have to wait for the 12 months. But if you see the RPD that was rejected, abandoned, or withdrawal, and it's not possible to do an application in the 12 months, only if you have family, children, basically here in Canada, doesn't matter if they are Canadian citizens, or if you have a medical condition that is serious and is going to be having a serious impact, the removal of you from Canada to your condition. The latest decision, if any process, in case, is a rejected decision of your refugee claimant by the, refugee hearing. If you receive that one, If you continue with your refugee case, meaning you do an appeal, for instance, there is no possible to do a humanitarian application. So if you receive a negative decision from the refugee hearing, so and you see, well, I am established, I have a Canadian children, I am working, so I may be in a good shape to apply for humanitarian application, give us a call in order that we can discuss more. If you continue with the refugee appeal after the refugee hearing negative decision, sorry, you have to wait until the appeal process finish. And it's the same if you continue with the judicial review that is submitted to the federal court. Some people, they decide to continue with the refugee case because they believe that they are not fully established in Canada. For instance, some people, when they finish the refugee hearing, they are still on welfare. So they appeal, non, almost sure that they are not going to get it, but they will have more time with more permits and everything to prepare for a humanitarian application because it's heavy in establishment. No? The key elements of the humanitarian application are establishment, as I was saying, and we suggest to check the source that we have downstairs, you know, the resource, but I will briefly saying that you have to have at least 4 very important elements. Community. And community means doing volunteer work, even online, participating in online programs, and you know, I mean, be active in the community, the church, whatever. Financial, so meaning that you are outside Ontario works and basically you are working and you're supporting yourself, so you are proving that you are not going to be a burden for the Canadian system. Education, well, English classes, and it's not that you have to be, you did this. No, you have to currently do it even now if you want to make a humanitarian application. Education, wherever, English, trainings, here in Canada, of course, we are referring to what you do. Your children, for instance, in the school, all of that stuff help for the establishment. Family. Do you have more members of your family here? You know, you have uncles or brothers or sisters, or name it. Or so it is a good idea that you do it. You try to collect letters of support from the family that you're here. If you don't have family, well, you have to find friends, you know, people that know you, that is going to help you with this. Then you have to prove hardship, meaning what is going to happen back home if you return. Of course, we do a comparison between the establishment that you have here that will be loose if they remove you, and what is you're going to face in your country of origin. So, but has to be some proof of hardship, no access to education, no access to health, no access to work, you know, don't have any place to go back to, your family is not there. So you have to have elements. The best interest of the child is very important, no? Is and as I said, the humanitarian application, one of the exceptions to make, not to wait for 12 months after you have received a negative decision from the refugee case, you need to, and if you have children and they are in the school and they are young, you know, that's a very important element to use for the humanitarian application, particularly if they will be sort of in hardship if they go back to their country, you know, but you have to prove this one through the birth certificate, of course, but the letters of support from the church, from the school, from anything. If they are attending counseling, well, a letter from a psychiatrist or psychologist. So you have to prove that the best interest of the child is to be here in Canada. And then letters of support, you know, in the different areas, labor, financial, education, family, friends, volunteer work, participation in the community, name it. You need to have letters of support of all of these. So we just added here the list of all the webinars that we have in the different languages, and in order that you go to our website and you can use it, and you can listen to the podcasts and the webinars that we have, and in order that you have more information and you make an informed decision for this. So please, you can contact us, if you have more questions, or for instance, if legal aid after you make the phone call refuse you, or you don't have a lawyer, or if you want to see if you meet the definition of humanitarian application or no, or if you want to go to the refugee process, you can call us. This is our email. For Diana Gallego that work with me here in the area of immigration and refugee support. This is our extension and our phone numbers, and you can call us.
Thank you for joining us. This informative session was provided by the Law Foundation of Ontario and the FCG Refugee Center. Don't forget to join us every Tuesday in our informative sessions. You can find more information in our website.